Dear students, we have to move for the lesson number 7 in a geography, Indian land resources. So yes, India is full of land actually. That land, many types of land we can see based on the classification types of land based on the uses. Which are those the types of land? One is the types of land it is. So which are the types of land? In India we can see that is the net zone area. First one is net zone area. Net zone area in the sense the land which is used for sowing in the sense ಬೀಜ ಬಿತ್ತೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. Next is the forest area. Forest area in the sense the land which is used or which is covered with the forest. And the third one is land not available for cultivation. Not available for cultivationಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. So that is that land. Example, so the hill region or the mountain region, that is not available for cultivation. Next thing is fallow land in the sense banjaru, not fertile land. Okay, banjaru bhumi, that is called as the fallow land. Next is cultivable wastes in the sense the land which is used to store the cultivable wastes ಅಥವಾ ತಿಪ್ಪೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಹುಲ್ಲುಗಾವಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, that is called as the grazing land. Next is the land under the miscellaneous uses. I mean land used for other uses in the sense for the construction of dam, for the river purpose, or for the lake, to build the lake, or to build the parks, or to build the mountains, or to not mountains, buildings. So like that is, these are the types of land based on a use. Keep in mind. So what is mean by land use or land utilization? The distribution of a land for the different uses such as forestry, cultivation, or grassland, like that. Okay, if the land is used for the different uses, the distribution of the land for the different uses is called as the land utilization. Okay, the distribution of land for the different uses is called as the land utilization. So in this land utilization, in the sense mainly the land everybody know about that it is used for the agriculture. So what is mean by agriculture? Agriculture in the sense everybody know the meaning of agriculture: tilling of the soil and raising the food crops and the other raw material what the human being is needed is called as the agriculture. Okay, so tilling of land and raising the or sowing the food crops, okay, or growing the food crops on the or the other raw materials what the human has needed is called as the agriculture. Yes, what is the importance of agriculture? Let us see the importance of agriculture. Agriculture improves the economy of the economy, because everybody knows that India is the country of villages, right? Okay, their main occupation is agriculture, and the nation income of the country is only the agriculture. That's why agriculture is referred as the backbone of the Indian economy, or it improves the economic progress. And mainly one more thing is it provide the food for the people. That is very important. Okay, without money we can live, but without food we can't able to live. So that's why agriculture is playing a main importance to provide the food for the people, and also the fodder for domestic animal ಮೇವನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸುತ್ತೆ. Okay, next, it is a source of national income and revenue. National income will be raised by the agriculture, and also the revenue in the sense tax, and its support for the many industries by providing the raw materials for the many industries, or mainly depends on the agriculture. Okay, because almost all the raw materials to the industries obtained from the agriculture. And also not only the industry, it also help for the territory sectors like trade, transport, market, banking, insurance, etc. Market, banking, insurance, etc. Okay, so this is called as this is the importance of agriculture. So the sectors are divided into two. One is economical sector, primary sector, secondary sector, and the territory sector. In a primary sector, the productivity fields will comes mainly the agriculture, and the secondary sector, the production field, productivity, then production field. Production field in the sense by using the raw materials which are all produced, the things for the human use, those are all comes under the secondary sector. Good example industry. Territory sector in the sense from there, from the what the products are formed from or prepared, manufactured by the industry, those are sells in the market. By the market, the bank will develop, and the insurance, transport, everything will develop. No, even trade also. So that's why they are all comes under the territory sector. Let us know the types of agriculture. Types of agriculture. Agriculture is also known as farming. Agriculture is also known as what? Farming. Let us know the types of agriculture. The first form is, or the first kind of farming is subsistence farming, which is that first one, subsistence farming. And the second one is intensive farming, which is the second one, intensive farming. Third one is commercial farming. Third one is commercial farming. Fourth one is mixed farming. Fourth one is mixed farming. And fifth one is plantation farming. Plantation farming. Sixth one is dry farming. Seventh one is humid farming. Humid farming. Eighth one is irrigation farming. Irrigation farming. So these are the types of agriculture. Which are the types of agriculture? Subsistence farming, intensive farming, commercial farming, mixed farming, plantation farming, dry farming, and the humid farming, then irrigation farming. So in this, let us know one by one. The first one is subsistence farming. Subsistence farming. So what is meant by subsistence farming? Growing of crops for the own purpose, own use. Okay, the farmers grow the crops for their own use for the whole year. That is called as the subsistence farming. Two types of subsistence farming, again categorized into two. They are, the first one is shifting farming, and the another one is sedentary farming. Keep in mind. Okay, shifting farming, and the another one is sedentary farming. Subsistence farming again categorized into two. First one is shifting farming, and the another one is sedentary farming. So what is meant by shifting farming? When the fertility of the soil is reduced. Okay, fertility ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೋ soil, when the fertility of the soil is reduced, farmers shift the whole cultivation land to the another area, and there he started to cultivate the crops. Okay, that kind of farming is called as the shifting farming. Hope you will understand. When the soil lose its fertility, farmers shift its whole cultivable land to the another area. So that is called as the unstarted cultivation. That is called as the shifting farming. And what is this cultivation of land, what is sedentary farming? It is shifting. Okay, shifting a land. Sedentary farming in the sense cultivation of crops at the fixed land only, by increasing the fertility of the soil, by applying the some manure, fertilizers, and everything. Okay, cultivation of crops in a fixed land, that is called as the sedentary farming. Here no shifting. So this shifting cultivation is practiced in the before period, before in the sense like 100 years back or 200 years back. Nowadays land only not available, how they are shifting, right? Okay, but previous years the lands are available more, they can shift. Okay, so this is called as the sedentary farming. So what are the differences between, sometimes they will ask you what are the differences between the sedentary farming and shifting cultivation. So this sedentary farming is a settled agriculture. Settled agriculture in the sense the crops are grown in a fixed land, that's why it is called as the settled agriculture. But shifting cultivation is not settled agriculture, okay, not settled agriculture. Here in a sedentary farming they use the traditional methods in the sense modern methods of agriculture they are used. But in a shifting cultivation they use only the old techniques because they are not use any fertilizers, artificial fertilizers, they are not use any power tillers, nothing like that. But in a sedentary farming they are using the modern technology or traditional methods in the sense modern methods of agriculture. So these are the difference between the shifting cultivation and sedentary farming. Hope you will understand that difference, this is very important. Next we have to move for the another for kind of farming, that is the intensive farming, which is that intensive farming. So let us know what is meant by intensive farming. A method of farming in which a large amount of capital and labor are applied per unit of a land, and farmer try to grow two or more crops. Okay, farmers in the intention of the more profit, growing of two or more crops by investing the more capital in the sense ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳವನ್ನು ಹೂಡಿ, and also by utilizing the more laborer in the sense ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಹೂಡಿ, and in more acres of land, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, that is called as the intensive crops. Okay, in more land. So growing of two or more crops by utilizing the more capital, more laborers, and also the more land in the intention of profit. In the intention of what? Profit. That is very important. Okay, so profit ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, that is called as the intensive farming. Hope you will understand. Once again I'll repeat you what is meant by intensive farming. Growing of two or more crops by utilizing the more capital in the sense here amount, large amount, huge amount, more capital and more laborers, and also the more land to for the intention of profit is called as the intensive farming. Let's know about the third farming, that is the commercial farming. So what is meant by commercial farming here? The name itself says the farmers growing of crops for the commercial purpose in the sense only for marketing purpose, that is called as the commercial farming. Okay, examples: growing of maize or growing of wheat, growing of jowar, like that, or growing of coffee, tea, growing of rubber, those are all comes under the commercial farming. Okay, so growing of crops for the commercial purpose or for the marketing purpose only, that is called as the commercial farming. Next we have to know about the fourth one, that is the mixed farming. So what is meant by mixed farming here? Cultivation of crops ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ livestock in the sense, okay, livestock in the sense rearing of honeybee, rearing of the sheep, rearing of goats, dairy farming, fisheries, that is ಮೀನು ಸಾಕಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಕೋಳಿ ಕುರಿ ಸಾಕಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಹನಿಬಿಯನ್ನು ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಹಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಕೋದು. So along with that crops growing, that is called as the mixed farming. The cultivation of crops along with the livestock rearing, that is very important. Rearing means sakanike. Okay, that is called mixed farming. Next, the fifth one, that is the plantation farming. So what is meant by plantation farming? Growing of crops in a large area or large estate. That area is called as a estate. ನೂರಾರು ಎಕರೆಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. Growing of crops in a large estate for the marketing purpose, that is called as the plantation farming. Good example for this: rubber, coffee estate, rubber estate, tea estate, like that we are calling, no? So that is, those are all comes under the plantation farming. Next we have to know about the sixth type, that is the dry farming. So what is mean by dry farming? The name itself says, here also the name itself says, here also commercial purpose. This is large estates or large plants, large area. Here also the name itself says what is mean by dry farming: cultivation of crops in the less rainfall region. Less rainfall region only, always dry, right? Okay, cultivation of crops in the less rainfall region is called as the dry farming. Mainly it is practiced in the peninsular India and western Rajasthan. Okay, it is practiced in peninsular India and western Rajasthan. Next, its opposite, that is the last one, seventh one, that is humid farming. Dry farming opposite: cultivation of crops in a less rainfall region. So cultivation of crops in the more rainfall region, that is called as the humid farming. So where we can see more rainfall? Nothing but Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay. The last thing is irrigation farming. So what is mean by irrigation farming? Cultivation of crops with the help of irrigation. Irrigation in the sense, ನೀರನ್ನು ಹಾಯಿಸಿ ಬೆಳೆಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದು. Okay, so I think you know about that. Irrigation means allowing flowing of water to the agriculture field is called the irrigation. Like that, if the crops are grown with the help of irrigation, is called as the irrigation farming. Hope you will understand all the types of irrigation. Almost the name itself says all the types. Don't get confusion here. So it's very easy. Thank you all.